And Malacanang welcomed the arrest of Delfin Lee. According to Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Abigail Valte, this development should serve as a signal for Lee's victims not to lose hope. Ignacio has the details.
Malacanang welcomed the arrest of Globe Asiatic founder Delfin Lee as a step that the case could finally move. Lee was implicated on the alleged 6.6 billion pesos housing scam.
I recall at one event, the President did mention na kahit kayo magtago, mahahanap natin kayo. So this is a good step, at least for government.
The camp of Lee earlier questioned the validity of the arrest warrant after the Court of Appeals quashed it. Malacanang explained that there was a pending petition filed by the Department of Justice before the Supreme Court questioning the Court of Appeals' decision to quash the arrest warrant.
I received several queries about this, and the position of Pag-ibig, of DOJ, and of government is this: that when the Court of Appeals handed down the decision stating that one of the 5 respondents should not have been included, thereby making it seemingly impossible to prosecute for syndicated estafa, which requires 5. So, lumalabas po, 4 na lang sila. Government appealed that decision to the Supreme Court. The mode of appeal, as lawyers like to call it, was under Rule 45 of the rules of court. Thereby, hindi po naging final and executory dahil nagsampa tayo ng apila yung naging desisyon ng Court of Appeals. And proof positive of the fact that it did not become final and executory are 2 things. One, the warrant of arrest was not recalled, and which is normally the case in case the quashing is made final. Hindi po siya ni-recall. At pangalawa, yung hold departure order against Mr. Delfin Lee was not lifted. And we all know that hindi naman po kayo magkakaroon ng hold departure order kung wala din kayong nagiging paglilitis sa ating mga korte. So yun po yung ating posisyon.
President Aquino was updated about the arrest of the real estate magnate for syndicated estafa case. Lee was allegedly among those high-profile fugitives, namely former Palawan Governor Joel Reyes and his brother Mario Reyes, former AFP officer Jovito Palparan, and Dinagat Representative Ruben Ecleo. Lee's camp earlier stressed that he is not into hiding.
He was updated last night when the tracker teams had finally pinned down Mr. Lee. And, you know, I suppose he has a mental list of the big, may tawag siya dyan 6 ba 5? O basta 1 down na ngayon. So at least, you know, efforts that used to be concentrated on finding this particular person can now be diverted to other persons that need to be tracked down.
Meanwhile, Malacanang encouraged victims in cases not to lose hope as the government is working hard to hunt down the remaining fugitives, while they added that the palace will let the Department of Justice to determine in their investigation the alleged participation of other government officials on the alleged bogus housing loans.
Siguro po yung pwede nating sabihin sa kanila ay wag po tayong mawawala ng pag-asa. Siguro po, prior to the arrest of Mr. Delfin Lee, yung mga nagreklamo din po sa Globe Asiatic, baka yan din po yung nararamdaman. Ngunit tingnan po naman natin yung biglang the sudden turn of events na kagabi lang po, nasa government custody na siya. So, it will move on. Yun nga ho ang sinabi ng Pangulo. While iniisip po nila na makakatakbo po sila at makakapagtago, mahahanap din po sila.
For the People's Television, Ignacio.